I don't hear any music. Is there music in the background? I know we're live.
I think we do. I lose it? There's no music.
No music.
Hold on.
All right, for those who are now joining us, because we're live. We're live on there we go. It was blinding, like I was staring at the sun. You opened all these feelings deep inside. Caught me glancing, no one noticed. I must have took you by surprise. We were dancing, now my heart is mesmerized. So I welcome everyone that's joining us. We actually have a live masterful artist who has donated her song to us to dance to. With Tony Bergen, Erica's partner, and soon we'll be introducing Erica, but we just wanted to move a little bit with you. If I can capture that time, just to know what's on your mind. Love to see you in my crystal ball. This is how it could be. Our bodies side by side. This is how it should be if we don't fall. Thank you for joining everybody. We're so ever live. Of reunion as we go deep with Erica and the process of returning with Rythmia. We're going to wait a few breaths until somebody joins and get up to you or wherever you are. We welcome you to dance with us, take some prayers, release whatever doesn't serve you. I'm willing to risk it all. Your heart was meant to call. And open up, 'cause we belong together. I'm willing to risk it all. You can see the DJ just doing his beautiful songs for children. And open up, 'cause we belong together. Wow. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you.
As you see, I am not at Rythmia, but I am at Rythmia. My heart and my soul is always at Rythmia. Right now, I'm in the jungles of New York City, and I'm so grateful that I can continue to do these lives because Rythmia always with that infinite heartbeat. Oh, I'm getting some breath from that dancing. That beat, that heartbeat, it always is beating, especially when we go home. And so the theme today in Under the Umbrella of Our Love is the returning home to the divine relationship with oneself. And especially today, we're going to hear how when you find yourself, you merge with your soul and you heal your heart. When you go home and you have a delicious partner to come home to, how all of that merges and dances. And so with that, I welcome you, Erica.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
So excited.
Yeah.
So Erica visited us in July, right? Sometime in July.
Yeah, about a month ago.
Yeah, about a month ago. And I know Erica's partner. She is a force of nature, Tony Bergens. And Tony Bergens and I have taught all around the world together. And so when Erica showed up at Rythmia, I just felt this soulful, continuous sisterhood connection. So I'm so excited to hear more about your journey, both at Rythmia and then now home, now that you're back home and everything that you have dreamt into action, having a dance here with us today. So welcome.
Thank you. What a great introduction. And hello, everyone who's joining and watching live. Please add chats in there and interact with us. We love that. So awesome. So do you want me to just kind of start from the top, or what would you like?
Yes, I would love for you to share the golden nuggets at Rythmia, and then how, because it's always about 50% on the cosmic dance floor of Rythmia grounds, and then when we take it home. And you are such an example of someone who has taken the Rythmia way home into your practice, into your mission in life.
Definitely. So if you can't tell by both the song and the fact that Parashakti just introduced my partner as Tony, I'm coming at this from the queer angle. And for me, a lot of the healing work that I do in the world and in my life comes from some of the experiences that I've had living in a lesbian body, in a queer body. And so I am always looking for ways that I can uncover and reprogram some of the messages that I received when I was younger, that just who I am at my core is not okay, and who I am is not acceptable and not lovable as I am, and I need to change in order to be able to be accepted and loved and valued and welcomed and to have belonging. So, there's wounding I carry around, there's baggage that I carry around from that. And a lot of the work I do actually in the world is helping others who are also coming to discover that baggage that they have. And I don't think it's unique to the queer experience. The more people I speak with, the more I realize everyone has something that in some way we were told that who we were just wasn't okay. It could have been a parent told us that, it could have been some kid on the playground when we were young, right? But somewhere we all have these messages lodged in us that who we are isn't okay. And I think one of the benefits of a place like Rythmia is that you get a chance to get beneath your mind and really dig into the deeper places where things have been stored. And that's what I found. I found that, my mind has done a fantastic job of helping me process my past experiences, but there's still stuff deeper. There's stuff in my subconscious. There's stuff in my body. There's stuff in other places that my mind tells me, no, we're good. We've got this. We've got this all cleaned out. And when I have an opportunity to go into deeper experiences, plant medicine's a great way to access that place. Deeper meditation's a great place to access that space. The dance floor, I'd be remiss with Parashakti here and my partner is Tony not saying the dance floor. But any way that I can get beneath my mind, which is really just trying to keep me safe, right? Like I've had to learn that. My mind is really just trying to keep me safe and protected. And it learned from what happened in the past that the best way to keep safe is to really have a tight lockdown on things. And that's helpful in many ways, but it's also limiting in many ways. And I came to Rythmia as part of my own journey that I've been on for a long time to just get freer from the internal lockdown and really open that up. I mean, I know who I want to be in the world. I know the love that I want to be able to share in the world, and whether that's with Tony or whether that's just with humanity. And I watch myself limit that sometimes, whether out of patterning or fear or conditioning or wounding or triggers or whatever, feeling not safe. And so that's a constant piece of work I do is how can I remove more barriers that just is going to let this love, which is my natural state, which is the love coming through me from the universe. I just want to be a clear channel for it to come out and love on everyone and love on the world. So, that's my work. My work is to keep that clear and make that as clear as possible. And that's how a place like Rythmia can help and has helped me.
So we can't wait till Tony comes and visits us. And in the meantime, as you did this profound work, and I know that Tony Bergens does profound work in her own right, how did the work at Rythmia enhance, connect deeper you with your partner?
Yeah, absolutely. So, relationships are one of those things where they're such they're a blessing to have, and I'm so super grateful to have one. But one of the challenges is that being that close and that intimate with someone else is like you start to learn each other's triggers very well, and you end up becoming, and I think this is intentional from a spiritual development perspective, you're the person who can most bring into consciousness the things that are ready to be healed. And so Tony does that for me, and I'm grateful to her for it, and I do it for her, and we both are showing each other, reminding each other of, hey, this is ready to be healed for you. And so that's, I'm always looking for ways that in my relationship I can, I know how I want to be with the person that I'm with. I want to be loving. I want to be open. I want to be able to drop into a place of deep connection. But if I'm in a place of trigger, I pull back, I withdraw. Like the fear makes me withdraw. And I was working a lot with fear when I was at Rythmia. One of my, I'm sure if you've been watching this show for a while, you know that there are these kind of 3 big intentions when you go to Rythmia. One is show me who I've become. And when I was doing that piece of work, one of the awarenesses I had is that I'm living in a vibration of more fear than I was aware of. And it showed me that. The medicine helped me see that I was kind of deluding myself into thinking that, I'm the self-righteous loving partner and it's Tony who's got all the issues. And I'm sure she would say the same about me. But so like the medicine helped me say, well, hold on. Because, you think you're all love vibration, but let me show you all the places in your life where you actually are still anchored into fear consciousness. And justifiably so, I can point to why that was. And the medicine helps you see why you're living in fear consciousness. But it also offers you an invitation to no longer live in that fear consciousness. And that's what I got at Rythmia. I got this invitation to say, now you can see it. Now you can see, when you weren't admitting it to yourself, you weren't fixing it. You weren't working on it. You weren't allowing it to be released. But now that I can see it, I'm having to face that part of myself that is in fear and that is therefore reacting out of fear and kind of like lashing out from a fear protective place. And it showed me that. And it then offered me like the next intention is merge me back with my soul at all costs. And, the at all costs is if anybody has been to Rythmia, that's one of the scariest parts is adding that clause at the end, at all costs. Like, whoa, what am I signing? What does that mean? What am I inviting in now if I'm saying at all costs? And, but that's the intention. And I was willing to say, I got to a point, I was willing to say that. And then the last piece is heal my heart. And I feel like that trifecta, showing me that I was living in a fear vibration, showing me the potential of releasing that and not having to do that anymore. Like that served me at a time, but it's not needed now. I really can be in the vibration of love that I want to be in. And part of that is the remerging with my soul. And I got to meet, I got to integrate with my inner child. I got to bring her back in, and we had a beautiful reunion as part of one of the ceremonies. And then I was really able to get some healing from some things that when I came home, Tony was very pleased to see that certain things that I react to out of woundedness, I was able to get some healing of those. And therefore, I was able to come back a much gentler, less triggerable person. Less triggerable person. So those are a few of the things. I can share more, but that's a few.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You have such a big mission, and I know you've even written a book about it. So how has this mission even more grown after doing the work at Rythmia?
Yeah. So I wrote this book called Gay the Pray Away. And my work in the world right now is kind of as a spiritual counselor, coach, speaker. I'm an interfaith minister, and I really focus on the queer community because many of us have been harmed by kind of traditional religion or narrow-minded dogmatic interpretations of religion. I don't believe all religion has to be that way or is that way, but some is, and it can be harmful. And I went through something called conversion therapy when I was younger, when I was 18. And that is, it's an attempt to change someone's sexual orientation or gender identity due to the belief that who you are isn't what God would want for you. So having endured that earlier in my life, I've always been passionate about my own healing. Like I don't want to be defined by that. I want to be able to live a joyful life where who I am is, I'm happy with who I am, and I'm able to radiate that love and acceptance into the world. But the challenge is I had internalized a lot of those messages. And that's what I've come to discover in my adult life, is that a lot of those messages given to me from the outside, this is what I was saying at the beginning, even though my rational mind would say that's ridiculous. Of course, that's not true. Subconsciously, I had still taken those messages in and created a belief system around them that was running my life. And what I find in my work is that many of us in the queer community have that. A lot of us are struggling with that. A lot of us are carrying that around. And at Rythmia, one of the questions I came in with for the medicine in my journey was, is this work still relevant? Is this work still needed? I've been doing this work. Is the queer community all set? Like, do they have enough places to go? Do they have enough support systems that is this work still needed? And it was beautiful and fascinating that there just happened to be, the week I was there just happened to be 3 other pockets of gay people. There was a gay male couple, there was a gay female couple, and there was another guy there. One of the people who was there was also from the queer community. And each of them I found myself interacting with and talking to. And we were all working on a piece of this work. Like all of our journeys, where our journeys had similar threads, was that we were all working on dredging out some of that old messaging of like non-acceptance or internalized homophobia that we're holding against ourselves, or internalized self-hatred. And for many of us, like one of the guys I spoke to, he really shared that he didn't think that's why he was there. He hadn't come in with the awareness that that was a core challenge or issue for him. He thought there was other stuff he was working on. And he found while he was in ceremony that, wow, he had a piece of that too. And I do believe that many of us in this community still have it lodged somewhere. I mean, society, culture, it's really hard to look around. You don't see 100% acceptance, even if you have your pockets of acceptance. And there's so much research about what one accepting adult can do for LGBTQ youth. It's true. And there are still times when we internalize the parts that aren't accepting, the people that aren't accepting, the messages that aren't accepting. And so a lot of my work intersects with this work that Rythmia is doing. There's a complete synergy between the mission I'm on, which is to help people liberate themselves from these internal limitations and limiting beliefs about themselves, which is exactly why Rythmia exists in the world and why I was so just inspired by listening to Jerry, listening to the guest speakers, meeting the other people there, because everyone shares the same common mission of getting free on the inside, because we all know that free on the inside leads to freedom everywhere else. It's, you know, sometimes we think it's the other way around. If I can just get free on the outside, right? If I can just get free, like meaning the kind of work I want in the world and the kind of relationships I want in the world, like all of these things that we do out here to try to build a system of comfort and freedom, then I'll find the peace and happiness in here. And I love that Rythmia goes about this differently and says, you know, it's the inside. Do the inside, because once you liberate in here, the rest of the world becomes a liberated place. That's the vibration you're putting out there. And therefore, it all around you is just, it's a completely different way of seeing the world, and things show up differently in the world. When I show up differently, the world shows up differently. So I found it to be really synergistic with my work in the world of being like, my partner, Tony calls it that I'm an internal change agent. I love that term, an internal change agent, inner change agent. And I embrace that. I really am on a mission to help people with inner freedom, because we can't control what the world is doing. I can't control the fact that there are still some religious establishments that don't accept who I am. You know, to get a little bit more personal, I can't accept the fact that, or I can't change the fact that even my own family, in some cases, still clings to some of their religious beliefs that would put me in a position of being not okay. So I can't change that. But what I can change is my own internal liberation. I don't have to hold that against myself anymore. And I'm grateful to places like Rythmia that share that common passion for, let's get free, whatever it is, whatever your thing is that's limiting you. It's time to send that, you know, let that go. And it's not violent. It's not like forcefully send that out. It's like lovingly and gently say, thank you. I release you. Thank you for all you've done for me. You've played a role in my life. And I'm now ready to evolve beyond that and be more of who I need to be in this world, because look around, the world needs us. Every one of us, the world needs us to be shining our light, the most vibrant and beautiful and light it can be.
Ah, Erica, you've said so many things that are giving me just that rising, heartfelt sense of freedom. And I agree with you. It's really just reconnecting to oneself, first connecting to that merged heart, that freedom of love, so that then we can truly love the world, and just acceptance, absolutely pure acceptance. And I feel that you embody it, you dance it, you bring it in your life and to everyone around you, and your light shines ever so bright. And so I'm so grateful that you joined us here today with such great wisdom. And you are an alumni, so you are coming back.
Yeah.
We're both on the East Coast, and I so look forward to seeing you and Tony very soon. And I'm so grateful that you graced us again, just with your wings of freedom and liberation. And everybody, as you see, she merged with her soul at all costs, and she healed her heart, and she came home in a new way. And that's what we celebrate, is that miracle of life at Rythmia. And so thank you.
Can I jump in and say one more thing? I know I hear you on wrap up mode, but let me say one last final thing really quick. Yeah. So the cool thing about this experience is that it stayed with me. Like 1 week after I got back, I just want to share this part of the story. 1 week after I got back, I felt like I was already kind of slipping into old patterns. Like I felt myself getting back into old irritabilities and old things. And something happened to me exactly 1 week after I got back where I felt like I was I was face planted in the bed. I just needed to sleep for a whole day. And I put on one of the playlists from Rythmia, from the journey at Rythmia. And I just allowed myself to go back into that space. And I felt like the medicine was actually still working in me. And I felt her kind of take me back in and say, let me remind you of everything that we just did and everything we just learned, because I've got you now and we're working together now. And I'm not letting you go back. I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to keep you remembering where you want to go and where you're going. And so I just want to say that like that happened to me a week later. I was back I felt it. I felt like I was back in and getting a reminder and a refresher. So I'm excited to feel like it wasn't just a one-time thing that, whatever. I felt like it's an ongoing journey that now I have another tool in my toolkit on this journey that I'm on of life. So.
Absolutely. The medicine lives inside of us. So
yes,
once we drink it, and once we gather in ceremonial space in that way, it's in us. And so thank you for sharing your medicine.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
And so thanks to Rythmia for creating an amazing space of transformation. It's a beautiful container they've created.
Yay. Thank you so much. Can't wait to have you back.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Yay.
Yay.